Welcome to all of you out there, astrology friends, my astrology friends. Welcome to another video. And it's actually for the last week of, I call it monthly horoscope, but actually it's a weekly horoscope. It's the horoscope for all the signs for the month of January. So, or in this case, the last week of January. And next week, probably next week, I'm going to do the horoscope, the monthlies for February. And I'm going to do it the old fashioned way, for every single sign, one video, but starting with also doing one video for all the signs. So I'm going to do both ways. And some people like it for their sign and other people like it to have a general video. So if I have time, which I think I'm going to make time for that, and I'll be doing that. But this is about the week of January. And normally I would not do this video. It was like, why would I do another video for the week of January? And I was just looking to find a little bit of a relief of why on earth isn't it possible to have like a week with just some nice trines? That was my questioning. And I took the Ephemerides, the book with all those planetary positions, and all I could find was some trines. Really, seriously. So is it because we are biased? If we do we make our own truth? It's an interesting question. Do we make our own truth? Or for a part, of course, it's the truth is there, but we definitely can make something out of it. But anyways, it's an interesting question. Now, for the last week of January, I'm talking about today. Today is the 23rd of January, so Uranus goes direct. Yoo-hoo! Uranus, the planet of liberation, the planet of excitement, the planet of restlessness as well, but it's going direct again. So things are definitely in general going forwards because we are coming out of a Mercury retrograde. We are coming out of a Mars retrograde. So definitely things go forward for all of us, for most of us. And it's a bit like, not exactly now yet, but certainly when we move on into the next week and onwards, we're getting into new land, you could say, new steps, new territory. But I looked at indeed what is going to happen for the last week up until, you could say, the 31st of January. And let me tell you this. There's going to be a trine of the Sun and Mars, which is the two male planets, so to speak, which is very nice energy. And there's going to be another trine of Mercury and Uranus, which is also fantastic. Yes, it does square Chiron, but I don't want to talk about that even. I just want a positive video, dear friends. I think I need it. I think you need it as well, because you are on my channel watching this. And we've got Venus in Pisces. Woo, that is beautiful. So for the nitty gritty, first of all, the dates. So Uranus direct on the 23rd of January, Venus in Pisces on the 28th of January, Mercury trining Uranus on the 30th of January, but you feel it already as from now, the 23rd. And the Sun trining Mars, you also feel that now already, but it's exact on the 30th of January. So let's have a look at, first of all, in general, Venus in Pisces. Venus in Pisces is exalted. The positive way of a Venus in Pisces is that people are more empathic, people are more nice to each other, people are more calm, people are more understanding in a way of understanding from the heart, you could say. So people do things from the heart. Now, isn't that beautiful? So that's going to be there for a couple of weeks. So that is fantastic. And I'm going to have a look at your chart specifically where you will have that Venus. Venus is what we love. And in a horoscope, it shows where we find enjoyment. Okay. So we're going to find enjoyment more if we are tapping into that energy of the kindness, of the empathy, also of creation, of art, and all that good stuff. Divine, spirituality, all of that. The trine between Mercury and Uranus is very significant because it's in Earth. So it means that Mercury is our thoughts, our communication. When it's trining Uranus, it means it's aha moments, it's wake up moments, it's seeing things, it's intuition in a flash, in a flash, and it means that you don't have to do anything. It's definitely like you take a shower, you relax, and you get an idea. It's that kind of energy. And especially because Mercury also squares Chiron, so that's a bit tension, you could say. It has this beautiful trine to Uranus. It's insight. Insights can help us a lot. And because it's in Earth, we can make it happen. So we can manifest the idea way more quickly when we have a trine between Mercury and Uranus. And then last but not least, the Sun is trining Mars in air signs. So wow, that is a very jolly kind of energy. The Sun in Aquarius trining Mars in Gemini. It's good for taking action, and it's good to go after what you want. You know, when someone in a chart, in a natal chart, has the Sun in a trine to Mars, it's really a very go-getter person. It's very male energy, and male energy, I mean yang energy, which is I see that, I go after it, and it happens because the trine energy means it's easy to do so. So it's a lot of physical energy that people have, a lot of hope, and a lot of hope, you could say more confidence. There's also a sextile here to Jupiter. So that's why I was mentioning hope as well. So it means like, especially if you are afraid to do something because you lack a bit of confidence, this is a very beautiful energy. This is like doing it anyway, even if there is competition, because that's also Sun, Mars, let's do it. So these are the beautiful flavors that we have in this week. So let's tap into this and have a look at the signs, not too long, but just to know in where kind of field this is happening. So for Aries, the beautiful, of course, your ruler is Mars. Let's start with that. So the Sun is trining Mars, beautiful for you in relationships. And I mean in the social context, because the Sun is in the 11th house of friends and acquaintances, and Mars is in the 3rd house of your neighbors, your siblings, the people around you. So wow, if there is a project that you want to launch, do it with other people, not so much with family and with your spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, but more with the people that I just mentioned. It's a very good energy to do so. If you have your own business, my goodness me, do some PR. You know, the social network energy here goes through the roof, and it's in air, which is already a sign of communication and of connecting. So it's definitely time to connect. Venus in the 12th house. That is beautiful. I'm not going to mention any pitfalls here, but because that's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is just for a week, let's tap into positive energy. Not put our heads in the sand, but tap into some positive energy. Venus in Pisces is definitely doing something for someone in need, but in real need. So Venus in the 12th, doing something for a good, how do you say that? A good cause? You know, for people who are really in need, help them. And, or a friend or whatever it is, someone helping them out without you wanting something in return. That's the Venus in Pisces, you know. That is what we can learn from a Venus in Pisces. You give, but you don't expect things to return. And you know those people who are saying, yeah, I give and I don't expect anything in return. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do in another way. But anyway, this is about giving and not wanting to receive just because it comes from the heart. So you Aries people are definitely gonna benefit if you're doing this. Last but not least, this Mercury trine Uranus. What is that all about? You know, the insight and the idea. It's work related for most of you, and money related. So in the 10th house is Mercury in Capricorn. In the 2nd house is Uranus in Taurus. So if you have an idea, do it. You know, use your network to do it, because it's going to be like this. Taurians, let's start for you with Venus, because that's your ruler, and Venus is in the 11th house. That is the house of friends, of association. So do something with friends, and do something for a friend. Maybe a friend could have a hard time. Do something nice to them. Do something without you wanting something back. You know, the Venus in Pisces is all about giving, but not doing that in a manipulative way. Just do it because you feel like it. Or do something with people that are like-minded, and you do something good in that association for the collective, because the 11th house is a very social house. So have a party, do something nice, do something with music, dancing, or going to some sort of a beauty kind of thing, because Venus is beauty, and go and have fun with some girlfriends. You know, it's mostly Venus. It can be a man friend. It can be a male friend as well, but with very Venusian qualities, which is very empathic. So hang out with them for sure, and you will feel great. Now, another thing is ideas, and ideas should be popping up for you, because there's a beautiful grand Earth trine with Mercury in the 9th house of travel, inspiration, studies, learning, teaching, and in your 1st house. So for a lot of you, this is an idea around travel, and you can make it happen very, very easily. And it could be also an idea that you want to be more, if you have a business to get more international, for instance, because the other trine that I'm seeing that has to do with doing, which is the Sun trining Mars in your 10th and 2nd house of work and of money, it shows that ideas can be put into practice very easily for your career and giving it a boost. Geminis, this is happening. Geminis, let's start with your ruler Mercury, the beautiful trine that is going on the level of thinking and ideas. The 8th house is trining the 12th house. So this is all about emotional satisfaction, basically. Emotional satisfaction that comes from places that you wouldn't expect, that comes from actually you. It comes from introspection. It comes from the hard work that you've been doing on yourself and understanding yourself. And with the trine, it's very much tapping into the unconscious of yourself and understanding it in a very, very earthly way. And that can help you actually with yourself, because the other trine that is going on in air, which is for you going to be a grand, not a grand trine, but a beautiful air trine between you and your higher self, you could say. There is definitely you upgrading. There is definitely you that, because of the hard work you've been doing on yourself, you will see the result of that. And that has to do with you, and it has to do with how you view the world, the 9th house. Very, very beautiful. And Venus in Pisces is in the 10th house of work. There could be a person that helps you out, that is very loving to you, and that can help you out for a new job or a project or something that you're doing. Definitely people are going to see you more if you do work. And if you're not working, it's about how you show up in the world. And you're going to have a lot of love back because of what you exude. Cancerians, what is mostly important for you? Well, you could say, let's start with the fellow other planet in water sign, which is Venus. Venus in Pisces is your 9th house. So having Venus there is wonderful for travel. It's wonderful for travel, and it's wonderful for healing as well. So it's almost like there is a possibility of healing whilst you are traveling. And definitely because a person or people, but it could be a female because it's Venus, but it could be also a male with very, very Venus qualities, you could say, because you have understanding, because people understand you, or a person is very, and it's an understanding from the heart. And for those of you who are single, you could meet someone new. You could definitely, whilst you are traveling, you could really fall deeply in love. And if you're not traveling, it could mean studying, reading a book, watching a movie, doing something that brightens and that enlarges your perspective. And by doing that, it's like almost self-love that you're getting. So that's very beautiful. On a relationship level, definitely some more positive energy coming for you. And that is because Mercury now in your 7th house of relationships trines the 11th house of friends. So that could be that you, with a partner, you do something with friends, and it's going to be something very down to earth, but these connections can help you to give you an idea. And an idea about what? About your emotional stability, to strengthen your emotional stability, because the Sun and Mars, which are the male planets to go forwards, is in emotional houses for you. So which is the 8th house, trining to the 12th house. So there is an opportunity for you to tap into deeper parts of yourself and understanding them better. And to understand yourself better, you need to dig a little bit deeper, right? And that is what you're doing. And that is good. Leos, wow, is this a social time for you? It's definitely available this week. And it's because the Sun in your 7th house is trining the Mars in the 11th house. So for you as well, there is a lot of energy around relationships and friends. So you could be doing something with a partner and something with friends. You could be doing something that is really, really lighthearted, but it connects you in a way that is so airy and that is so friendly that it gives you definitely a boost for the future. And also it could mean that you take your chance, right? That you have, for instance, if you are single, that there is someone out there, and for the first time you're getting really social with them, right? You introduce them to your friends, or something in that area. Venus in the 8th house, whoo, that is beautiful for intimacy. That is really you see me, like in the Avatar movie. Do you see me? It's all about that. Well, this is Venus in the 8th house. It's about vulnerability, and it's about showing that to one specific person that you love. It is there. It is available for you, dear Leos. Whether you are in a long-term relationship already, or if you're just starting one, or if you want a long-term relationship with Venus in the 8th house, it can mean that you open up to someone. Last but not least, which is a little bit more work related. So you've got a bit of everything, you Leos out there. It's Mercury in the 6th house trining Uranus in the 10th house. So you could be having some ideas of work, or if it's not work, your health and your day-to-day routines, and definitely how you want to become a bit more practical, and you have an idea to do so. Virgos, well, Venus in your 7th house. Isn't that a good thing? Oh, am I looking forward to that? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And we Virgos are going to have the Venus in the opposite sign of the 7th house. So that means other people, one-to-one relationships with clients, with business partners, and with a specific person. So with Venus there, even if it's the toughest of the toughest, if you've got Venus there, it means that you want to get along. And guess what? They will be wanting to do that as well. Isn't that beautiful? So very good for relationships. If you're not in a relationship, it can mean starting one. And it will be a very beautiful person. Very beautiful. Venus, handsome or beautiful. Anyway, getting on here. Mercury, your ruler, is in a fellow, you're having a grand trine here, which is fantastic and amazing. And it's very inspiring because it's in the fire houses and it's your fifth house trining the ninth. So an idea, your kid, your child, if you have them, that could be a child that has a fantastic idea, that is doing well, that is going forward, and all of a sudden, it can be a little bit all of a sudden. It can also be you, that you're doing things from the heart more, a project is possible, a hobby that you want to do. It could be related to travel, it could be related to study, to learning something new, all the good stuff. And when it comes to your work, there is more flow here. The sixth house is trining Mars, so there is a lot of momentum here on the level of, there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of connecting, and therefore there is momentum in your work. If you don't work, it's your day-to-day routines, they go more fluently. It's also your health, so it's a good time to start. I'm going to start today to do some exercises again. So that's also this Mars trine the Sun. Librans, this is for you, Libran. Your ruler, first of all, is in the sixth house. Now, Venus in Pisces in the sixth house. That is lovely. That means that your day-to-day life, your work, your routines, your health. With Venus, it means you're enjoying yourself more. Isn't that a good week for you, right? Because you are Venus. You are, I must think of the song I'm Your Venus. But anyway, is it Bananarama? I don't know. Anyway, I'm digressing here, but it's really enjoying yourself in your day-to-day life. Isn't that a good thing? Because that means every day you're going to enjoy. Every day. Isn't that a good thing to look forward to? And certainly in the emotional houses, there is some new idea coming up that you can make very practical. So in the fourth house, Mercury trines the eighth house Uranus. So that could have to deal with real estate. So if you do so, there is positivity, ideas here possible. It could also mean your understanding of yourself on a deep psychological level. And to enjoy yourself, talking about enjoying yourself on a day-to-day basis, there is a grand trine happening for you in the air signs. And that is very inspiring, because it's the Sun in your fifth house, trining Mars in the ninth. So this could be really, if you have children, it could be a child that is doing very well, that is taking action, that is very confident, and maybe it wasn't before, but now all of a sudden there is momentum there going on. But for those of you who don't have children, or who do have children, but it's also a lot about you expressing yourself in better, and it's easier. It's easier. You express yourself in love. It's good for a love relationship. It's good for new relationships, for old relationships, so to do something that you love. Go to the theater, go to have some fun, go to a cafe, restaurant, whatever, what you love to do. But do it with a bunch of people, and with some networking, with some friends that you haven't seen for a long time. You will have a very good time. Travel is also very much positive, stimulated here. Scorpio, first of all, a fellow water sign is activated by Venus there, traveling through your fifth house. That is amazing. That is super, super nice energy. Venus in the fifth house. For a Scorpio who is single, this could mean there is some romance going on. The heart is really stimulated here. It can be very, very magnetic, you could say, to say the least. With Venus in your fifth house in Pisces, it can be someone that you fall deeply for, and it's like a bit head over heels kind of energy. But it has to do with a soulmate connection. So definitely soulmate connections. If you're already in a relationship, it definitely means that you can have fun by doing some romantic stuff there. Doing some, do some romantic stuff. I don't have to say what it is. I mean, That's a bit different for everyone. But definitely have fun, definitely open up your heart. And it could be a child as well, that especially if you had a bit of a rough time before with them, that it is now more in a caring way, in an understanding way, the hard way, like just saying, oh yeah, well, I mean, when I was 14, I was also like that. You know, that kind of energy. It's smooth energy. You're going to love it. Now, very networking energy as well. And very, you could say a new idea comes up whilst you are networking, because your third house is activated by Mercury and trining the seventh house, which is where Uranus is. So it could be like meeting someone and having an idea, and having a really practical idea. Or it could simply mean because you go out in your neighborhood, the third house in your neighborhood, you meet someone new, you fall in love, and it's all of a sudden. I mean, Mercury trining Uranus, it's good conversations with the people that you connect with, and you're going to love that because you like it when people have like this fresh ideas and where you can have good conversations with, for sure. You're loving that. And very grounded conversations. Don't you love that? Mercury in Capricorn. Now, on another level, when it comes to your core, when it comes to your emotional well-being, there is definitely also movement possible. The fourth house, where the sun is in Aquarius, it trines your eighth house, where Mars is. So there could be momentum going on. Definitely when it comes to finances that you share with someone else, whether it is it could also mean inheritances or real estate, and that has been stuck. Now you have some momentum here. Well, a lot of momentum basically to get that more ahead, you could say, with the ideas that you've been having. Sagittarians, it's a bit of everything for you. It's definitely more emotional peace, you could say. And Venus is in your fourth house. So that is a very peaceful energy. Oh my goodness, I love that. I mean, I have a Sagittarius rising, so I feel it. I feel it already. And I see it. So Sagittarians, if there has been a hard time when it comes to not much of balance in the home life, in the family life, this is about to change. With Venus in the fourth house, it means getting along with relatives better, getting along with yourself better on an emotional level. Like you can put yourself to peace easier. You know, it's not. It's very underestimated, the fourth house, because it's your emotional well-being. And with Venus there, you could also invite people at home a bit more and doing that really just, you know, with an intention from the heart, and really having a good time at home. It's really cozy. Make it cozy at home. Do some candles. Do some whatever decoration, and this can be very lovely for you. It is also and you're gonna love this. I certainly gonna love this. The third house is activated by the sun, and it's trining Mars in the seventh house. This is social. This is extremely social. So if you have a business of your own, this is fantastic to launch maybe a website, maybe a new website if it's outdated, or whatever it is. Do PR, and it's going to go very, very positive for you. When it's not so much about your own business, it's more about your connections. So there is a lot of flow here and ease with connections. From you could do something together with people in the neighborhood and your loved one, for instance, or siblings and your loved one, or just people that are around you that yes, that are, you could say, not the most important people of your life, but there is some possibility here to connect with them and to do something together as well. So if you do have your own business, going in a business partnership would be very interesting here. It definitely would be successful. Now, Mercury, the ruler of communication, is in your second house, trining the sixth house. Now, that is the level of money and work. So this is positive. This is positive. It could be an idea. It could be a new idea that you have, a new financial idea, or a new idea just to get to hustle for the money. It's definitely like an insight that comes, and it goes into reality very quickly here. So for Sagittarians on all levels, you could say very beautiful energy to tap into. Capricorns, let's start with Mercury in your sign, of course, trining your 5th house where Uranus is. This is nice to have fun. This is nice to, when you do have kids, it could be a kid that is really, that you're doing something with them that is so positive, you could say, and so fresh and new and practical. But there's a lot of communication here going on. If it's not to do with children, it has to do with you, a plan, a project that you have, and that a creation that is something from you, and it's like an insight, and you make it happen quite quickly. So it's also a way of having fun. You could be doing something new that you've never done before, and you're having great fun with that. Talking about fun, having Venus in your 3rd house is amazing, because that means socially that you're connecting easier, more fluently, more like fluently. I can't put it in other words. The 3rd house, Pisces, and very gentle messages can come your way, or you can give other people, you can declare someone your love, or vice versa. That is, with that 5th house being activated there, if you have an eye on someone, it could really, really mean some very lovely energy there. Now, also work is stimulated here, because the sun is in the 2nd house of your income, and it's trining the 6th house of work. So with the male planets. So especially if you are doing an effort, it goes easily. It goes easily. It's a trine energy is doing, to go with the flow basically. But what you do with the flow, it's successful. So new ideas or new things that you want to launch, and where you're like probably a little bit of confidence, you can apply it here. Aquarians, yes, the sun in your house trining Mars in the 5th house. That is fantastic. For the single Aquarians, and if you have an eye on someone, this could mean that you take some action here in the love department. And by going after what you want, that's what the sun and Mars is all about. Or you could do something with someone that is really active and that is really enjoyable. But there's also an energy of mental connection. Mental connection that gives you the feeling that you are understood, and vice versa. For others, it's a new project that you're going to launch here, or it is a connection with a child that improves, could be that as well, or a child that is stepping up and showing an act of confidence, you could say, and that has a really good, of course, if you're a parent and you see that, especially when you have a child that didn't have a lot of confidence and all of a sudden they do something with quiet doses of confidence, that makes you feel good, right? It's that kind of energy. It's also Venus in your 2nd house. Wow, that is beautiful too. If you have in an economical way, if you have the money for it, of course, but to buy beautiful luxury products, absolutely. Venus going through the 2nd house and in Pisces, it is really luxury. It could mean that you buy yourself some, instead of a candle of €3, you could buy a candle of 60 euros, but it's like the most luxury, smelling good, whatever. It's like, wow, it's a special candle. I don't know if candles cost that much, but anyway, probably there are some candles out there that are pretty expensive. But you know what I mean? It can mean also a beautiful piece of jewelry. It can mean also a beautiful trip that you're going to organize, and it costs some money, but you are going to do that, and it's a faraway country and you're loving it and you love the food there, and you understand what I'm trying to say here. So spoiling yourself is definitely with Venus in the second house. And then last but not least, Mercury in the 12th house, trining Uranus in the 4th house. This is more about your patterns, your emotional patterns, your patterns from the past. There is an understanding of it. I mean, that's Mercury trining Uranus. It's like an aha moment. Oh my goodness, I've been doing that. And because you understand it, it's like, it's not a 50%, it's like an 80% that you kind of are healed because of the understanding. And you can work towards the healing even more in a very easy way because of this trine. So understanding your patterns or some pattern, really, really good for you, Aquarians. Pisces, of course, Venus in your sign. That is amazing. Do a beauty treatment. If you are a man, buy a nice whatever, a nice tie, a nice pair of trousers, whatever it is that makes you happy, basically. But that has to do with your appearance, and the same for a woman, of course. And you will attract more people towards you. I mean, already Pisceans are very magnetic people. I mean, normally Pisceans are, that kind of sign that draws people in just because they are. And that is your strength. It's going to be reinforced. Of course, normally you're saying, oh no, Veerle, I'm going to attract. I hear that a lot from. This is what I hear apparently a lot. Of course, it's not representative, but I know quite a lot of Pisceans. That's what I hear a lot from them. But Veerle, I attract the wrong people. I don't attract. But now it's not going to be the wrong people. Okay? So yes, I know Pisceans do attract sometimes people that they don't want to, because they're not, they have sometimes, they don't understand that, hey, but I'm putting a boundary here, aren't I? Or not firm enough, or stay away, please. And they don't understand it. It's not that kind of energy now. On the contrary, a very, very social energy here with Mercury in your 11th house trining Uranus in the 3rd house. So that is all the people except from your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend. So like friends, connections, which is the 11th house. The 3rd house is people in your neighborhood, neighbors, siblings, people that you see occasionally. There's a lot of energy here, and a lot of getting along, and a lot of they giving you, or you giving them some nice practical ideas there. Probably they are going to give it to you. Some nice practical ideas. Why? Because Mercury is the ruler of your 7th house, of other people. So you can have really some insights by just, going for a drink with some people that you know, and going to a nice cafe or whatever it is that you love to do. And last but not least, also a beautiful trine in water houses, which is the Sun in your 12th house trining Mars in your 4th house. So there is a pattern here that was blind for you, a blind spot, a pattern, familial. I want to speak French and English now. That's just giving me like fireworks in the head. But I wanted to say that something that was buried for a long time, that was unconscious for a long time, it comes up. And actively you work with it. So actively you heal from it because you're seeing it, you're putting actions. And in some way, you're getting very active at home. That's Mars in the 4th house going direct. So you could be moving some furniture, doing some cleaning up, and so on. I know spring cleaning is a bit too early, but for you, it's definitely on, dear Pisceans. Thank you so much for listening. Have a splendid week. Have a splendid week. Tap into those energies, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.